Hey everyone, it's Vax Sam with reporting for TechZulu.com. I'm sitting here with the guys from Taltopia. Your name?
Anthony.
I'm Alan.
So tell me a little bit about the company story, about how you guys got started and how you guys met.
Sure. Well, our girlfriends are first cousins, so it was pretty funny how we met. We've met at probably like a family get-together a little over 2 years ago, and Al and I were both graduates of the UC system, so we were just getting started in our corporate lives, and we decided that that wasn't for us. So we brainstormed for about 3 or 4 days, and then researched the idea for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then came up with Taltopia.com. Alan actually called me one day. He was watching American Idol, and he's like, "Anthony, we got to get this on the web." And so he was like, "Is this on there yet? Is there anything like this?" And 3 weeks of research later and finding a developer later, I mean, we pretty much got it up. And then 6 months of programming.
Who did the programming during that time?
We have one developer. His name's Arthur Chaparian. He's actually sitting in the other room.
How'd you guys meet him?
We actually interviewed about 50 people. So 50 developers later, we settled with this one guy, and he's been great. You know, no complaints about him.
How'd you guys find him on Craigslist or something like that? Or
No, actually, Anthony and I are both really research intensive. I mean, we spent a lot of time just looking through the yellow pages, looking online at Craigslist and all that, and seeing, you know, what services people offer, and you know, we needed something that was affordable. I mean, we're two young guys out of college. You know, we're starting a website with our savings, so it's really challenging to find the value and the bang for the buck that we're looking for. I think ultimately it was a friend of a friend who we got through. We got referred to him through a friend of a friend, and Arthur has been great.
Wait, where'd you guys graduate from?
I'm from UC Berkeley. I graduated with 2 majors, one in business administration and one in economics.
And yourself?
From UCSD.
Okay. So how do you guys complement each other in regards to putting the business together? I mean, like, you know, what do you do and what do you do for the company?
Sure. I'd say that I'm a little bit more of the design and technical guy on the team, and I think Alan is probably more the business guy on the team. So it's actually a really good complement. But again, we really divvy up everything between ourselves. It's hard to say that I do one thing and Alan does another thing. It's really much split between us.
We collaborate a lot on every project. We CC each other on every email. We include each other on every call. So we're both very involved in the company, regardless of what aspect it is.
So when you guys make decisions, I mean, it's always both you guys making the decisions together.
It's actually the thumbs up system. Yeah, so it's like,
Anthony, how do you feel about this new look on the site? Up or down, fame or shame, like our site. Yeah.
Have you guys had any problems before? I mean, since there's only 2 of you guys, have you guys been in some sort of disagreement that took a while to decide?
The thing we always laugh about are the tabs. I'm like super. I don't know what the word. No. I'm super constructive. I don't want to say anal, but like super constructive when it comes to tabs. So it took us a good 2 months to settle on something. But when it comes down to us disagreeing on something, we always go to Arthur, and he's like the tiebreaker. He's a tiebreaker.
Yeah. I also want to add that I feel that argument is good in any company. I mean, we have healthy arguments. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Anthony and I don't argue. That's not true. We do argue because we're both very passionate about what we're doing, and our passion is revealed in those arguments. That's how we know we still care for what we're doing, and we really care for the site. And even though we might disagree about something, we know that it's for the benefit of the site, and we come to some sort of conclusion. Yeah.
So in terms of Taltopia. I viewed, what you guys did to put together the idea, which is, like on a piece of paper, on the graph paper or something. Tell me a little bit about that.
We were actually sitting at a pizza shop, bakery, I don't know what you want to call it, but we were just sitting there and we had a piece of graph paper and I think napkins were the other thing, and we were literally drawing it out. We were all excited. We're like, oh, we gotta put this here, put that there, and then we really made that idea. It's pretty much the same. I mean, from that graph paper, a little over a year and a half ago to what it is today. So we're actually pretty proud of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning. We always joke about this. There's pictures of this, but not only did it start on graph paper, it started in my living room. We built our own server. We ordered the parts from Newegg and really cost effectively built the thing ourselves. And also in my room, I have like a mirror closet, and we were using that mirror closet as our whiteboard for a year. So that's something that we like to mention, is that very grassroots, very much we started with nothing basically. And
so when you guys put the idea itself together, and then so what was the next step? I mean, okay, now that we've got this idea, I'm sure money was next, right? Sure. So what happened?
Our biggest thing was we wanted to hold off on getting an investment as long as we could to keep our equity in the company as high as we possibly could. Because I'm sure, you know, the later you go after money, the less percentage they're going to take away from you. So, I mean, that was I think our biggest goal was to try to build up as much as we could. And then when we finally hit like a break-even point, we're like, okay, now we need the money or else we can't do this anymore. It was that point where we were going to start going after money. And so,
yeah, I was gonna say the site up until our funding was completely self-funded by Anthony and I. We skipped the family and friends round. We didn't want to get family and friends involved with money. I know a lot of sites out there go through that, you know, go down that direction. But, you know, it was more of a personal choice for us to not involve the family and friends with this business because, as everyone knows, internet's a risky business. We don't want to, you know, harm any relationships that we have with friends and family. And so what we did is once we were finally ready to go, you know, to start finding some money, we started posting on a lot of sites that are out there. And the site that actually proved most successful to us was goforfunding.com. We posted on there. We were contacted by an angel investor on there. And after a few emails back and forth, a lot of long phone conversations, we didn't even have an office. So he met with us inside of a hotel lobby here in Pasadena. And, you know, we met and bounced the idea off each other. We had our own formal presentations. You know, we had our investor pitch that we put together, and one thing led to another. We got attorneys involved, and 2 months later we had our funding. So it was definitely a big challenge. You know, those months of you know, the negotiations and getting the attorneys involved and the paperwork, it's actually ended up being a lot more work than we expected.
Yeah, exactly.
But our lawyers were great, and you know, we worked with Buchalter Niemer in downtown LA, and they were very helpful. Got the funding together, and everything worked out great.
So once you guys got that initial contact with that, you know, angel investor, tell me the process and the time that it took. You know, I mean, from the initiation process to actually receiving that first check.
Yeah, sure. The funding process, as I mentioned, it started out with a posting on goforfunding.com. About a week or two later, I mean, we did get some messages that didn't seem legit. We got some people offering us debt financing, which we weren't interested in. So then we got this email from an angel investor in Baltimore who seemed legit. And as I mentioned earlier, we got on a call with them. You know, we shot back a lot of emails back and forth. And we, you know, PDF presentations, and he actually, you know, after talking to us, he was very interested in the project that we had going on. He was actually very fascinated by what we were doing, and the amount of progress that we made. You know, two young guys. I'm 24, and Anthony's 22. Two young guys, and the amount of progress we've made. You know, we've been featured on CNN, on NBC, and these things had a lot of value to the investor. He flew out here from Baltimore a few times, and you know, it was great meeting him face to face. After those meetings, you know, we were pretty set on, you know, that he was the right fit for us. We did have a few other options to go with, but we decided that this was the right fit because he himself has invested in other websites of his own, and he has experience in the field, and he has a lot of great contacts. So all of that were important factors in our decision.
So was he the lone investor, or did he bring in other people to help him with the funding?
No, it was single investor. Yeah, so a single angel investor. So yes, we've been very, very fortunate, and we're very happy about that.
And then the process after we found him was, you know, getting lawyers involved. We did most of the negotiations ourselves. I mean, we have our own limited experience in negotiating, but we were all on the same page on most of the issues. And then you'd be surprised how much paperwork goes into a round of funding. I mean, there's so much paperwork that's involved. It's really important to get good lawyers on your team. We were fortunate enough to find, you know, great lawyers to help us out. And again, the lawyer process was really intricate too. We interviewed probably about 25 lawyers on the phone, met with probably 10 of them, and decided to go with one.
Yeah. And in